Good morning, and here we are on day one of a 4-day trip over to Fully Charged in the UK. We're leaving Dunleary. It is just gone 6 o'clock. Well, it's about 20 past 6. We're getting the ferry, and my first time driving on the ferry, charging on the ferry, driving in the UK with an electric car. So a lot of firsts happening on this video. So I know my colleagues from Nevo.ie, and this video is in partnership with Nevo.ie, which is Ireland's dedicated electric vehicle platform where you can go and browse, compare and book your test drives. They're in a Polestar 2. Today I am in the MG4 and looking forward to it. It's great to be able to get a car and do a really long spin as much as I do my coast to coast. So the plan is to drive over today, and I'm heading to my friend Gary's house in northwest London. It's about 280 miles from Holyhead. I'll put the conversion on the screen underneath as to what that is in kilometres. And my car has, if I can swap it around, it has, let me zoom in there, 96% battery and 386 kilometres worth of range. And then I've booked on the ferry, which is the slower ferry with for EV charging. The Polestar 2 lads, Simon and Finn and Liam, are going on the Ulysses, I think, which is the fast one, so that they can get over faster to get out there. So it'll be an interesting combination as well. They're doing a separate video over on their socials. This will be going out the week after Fully Charged, I'd say. Yeah, looking forward to it. This is the bigger battery with the trim with regards to the MG4, just so you know. Okay, I think that's everything. Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Into Dublin Port, and it was very seamless. My first time, as I said, driving on a ferry. As you pull up, they recognise your number plate, so they know the booking. So he said, "How are you, Derek?" A couple of questions, and then they give you a tag to hang on your windscreen, and because it was an EV and I'd booked EV charging, they give you a sheet then to put on your windscreen. Once you get past the boot, then the gentleman tells you which lane to go into. He knows you're an EV, and because of that, then you are first on. So they're directing you all the way through. They come and check your tickets while you're still parked up to make sure they've got the right car, the right tickets, etc. Customs are floating around as well, but I didn't have any interaction with them. And then it was straight on to the ferry.
So here on the ferry, and we have had the breakfast, gone into duty free, and when you drive in, it looks where electric vehicle is first on, but it looks like it's going to be last off because the chargers are at the very back. 4 pod points, maybe 5, 6. I'll double check when I go back down again. And you can see on the website there's a couple of different, depending on the route, will dictate the power that you're going to get. I think the France route is 3.4 and the Holyhead Dublin is 7.4 kilowatt. I had about 92% left in the battery, so it won't be, I didn't need it, but it'd be nice to go off at 100%. The isolation switch was turned off, so just make sure that you're checking that the car is actually charging and that you pack your cables on top of all your luggage rather than having to route down through it. Otherwise, I've downloaded a Better Route Planner Premium, so I've got that now on Android Auto on the car, so it'll show me where to stop. I have 2 stops to make, and yeah, all good.
Coming into Holyhead, very smooth sailing. Didn't even realise we'd left Dublin. There was very little wave motion, so you can see through the window here, the sea salt covered window of the ferry. Get off, it's 2 lanes. Left hand lane turns into HGV, and then right hand lane then is cars. Very seamless. Get out onto the motorway, and then some nice bridges in North Wales. We've got the Atlantic Coastal Route, or Expressway, sorry, it's called Wales Expressway. Some classic Fords leaving Ireland heading over to a meetup. This was the Thursday of the bank holiday weekend, the May bank holiday weekend. Traffic was light, the motorway speeds were good. Yeah, good, nice drive to start off with. So we're here at our first stop, just outside Crewe at a Costa, and we are at 51% battery and a kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers of 18.2, and there are 2, let me just pop out and have a look, Instavolts.
there. Tap to pay. Let's give it a go. So it was a £30 pre-auth on the card. Small bit steep. And then we're at 50% state of charge. We're getting 58, 62, around 62 kilowatts. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go to about 80% and then hit the road again to the next charger. So actually went up to 87%. Cost me £18. And we are just to stop the charge. You have to show the card again. It should stop. It does. Yes, stop this session. Stopping. So yeah, as simple as that. I'll check the receipt on the screen. Okay. Receipt on the screen. Some of you be spotting onto the way to the next charging stop, and this is a Tesla Model 3 all wrapped up. I think it might be a Tesla corporate car. I don't think somebody did this themselves. I might be wrong. If it's you, let me know in the comments, or if you know this Tesla. I couldn't see any business name on it. Next charging is going to be the Rugby service station, and it is going to be the GRIDSERVE. What they've done along the electric highway is amazing. It's something that we dream about over here in Ireland. It's just to have a bank of these chargers. Excellent to see. Let's jump out and see exactly what it's all about. Last charging stop, because I want to be leaving tomorrow morning with 30% from my mate's house. So we are at Rugby services, M6, and this is the GRIDSERVE new. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can see 12 tritiums, and then there's another, I think it's 12 Teslas down there as well. So this is tap to pay as well. So I'll get the card out, get it tapped up, and give you an update at the end. Some really good charging speeds on this charging station here. So arrived at roughly 50%, same as the Crewe one, but this one on the tritium on the GRIDSERVE it tops out at the about 100 kilowatts. So it's great to see that on the MG4. Stayed about 22 minutes on this charger. Just went to the restroom and had a quick bite to eat, and that cost then came in at £16.26. When I leave, then I have 87% battery and a range of 301 kilometers. Staying at my mate's Gary's house and his family in Harrow. Doesn't have a charger yet, so I wanted to get there with some decent charge left in the bank, if that makes sense. Event nice, easy enough going along. Wasn't a hard drive. We have the MG4 that I was looking to see, so carbon copy of what I'm in with the upper level trim. You can see that by the spoilers in the back, and so it was side by side on the motorway on the way up to Harrow. Once we get to Harrow, then it is didn't actually take as much as I thought it was going to take. I land up and I have 51% and 168 kilometers worth of range. So that's where I parked up for the night, met up with the kids, and I headed off the next morning then over to Fully Charged. Rain started to drizzle on the Friday morning. Just after arriving at Fully Charged Live, I'm staying in the local hotel tonight, so in their car park, and left Harrow about an hour and 10 minutes ago. Let me try and swap this around. And so you can see we're currently at 18 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, 33% battery left. Didn't charge last night. My friend Gary doesn't have a home charger yet, convincing him about an electric vehicle. And so between now and Sunday night at the show, we are going to try and either get charged at the show. There's a new Monta queuing system, so I'm going to see if I can get in there. I'm going to be doing a video on that, and or find a fast charger around here and pull up for 45 minutes and get it charged up so that on Sunday afternoon I can hit the road. That's the plan anyway.
Okay, time to hit day one, the Friday. It's fairly drizzly actually, it wasn't supposed to be, but I'm after driving past the entrance to the actual Fully Charged show itself, and there's thousands of people in already, so really looking forward to today. I'm speaking on one panel and hosting a second, and yeah, tomorrow there's another panel and Sunday there's another panel, so really good. I'll try and capture some footage at the show, but this is mainly about the trip. We've done nearly 488 kilometers to get to here. It's going to be something similar to get home again, so nearly 1,000 kilometers. Thanks. We are just at the Fully Charged show. I've got my exhibitor parking permit and I'm down to 31%, and I'm going to charge, and what I'm going to charge on is Farnborough Event Centre, or after putting in bloops and bloops from the MG4, a whole new bank of Rolex EV chargers, and you can see that it's powered by Monta, a friend of the channel. So you just plug in, activate on the app, and then it can charge it. What they're also operating is a new queuing system, so if there's a lot of people, and there are, and pretty much everybody is, but they have you can see over here, it has descriptions. So how to charge and Fully Charged, download the Monta app, find the chargers, join the smart queue, and so that is to save your spot in the queue, in-app notification, so, and then start charging. And so we can plug in now, get it up to 100% for tomorrow. Today is the Saturday, day 2, and take it from there. Just back after 5.5 hours inside day 2 of the Fully Charged Live UK South, and we've gone from 31, I think it was, up to 90%. So that gives me 357 kilometers for my journey tomorrow afternoon back to Holyhead. Efficiency is 18.0 on this vehicle at the moment after nearly 500 kilometers. Did a bit more charging last night because I couldn't get to the full 100%, so I gave another 6% on a nearby Instavolt. Heading back to day 3 of Farnborough and going to stick it on just to get it to 100% so that I can leave, and I've already know where I'm going to stop in. I think it's Stoke Services. I'm going to stop there for 40 minutes, and that should get me to the ferry with 10% left. So I have one more panel session to do now with Fully Charged on what my favourite EV is. Just finished day 3. My head is melted, and it is coming up to 5 o'clock. It's 4:45, and now heading for Holyhead. The ferry isn't until 2 o'clock tonight, so I've got about 4 hours of driving and about 40 minutes of charging to get me there with about 10% of battery. I've used a better route planner. I know I'm going to stop off at the Stafford Moto services. There's a couple of Instavolts, I think there. No, BPPulses. And so I've got some videos to edit anyway, so as much as I'm going to be arriving early at the port, I'll pull in and just edit videos, or a video. On the car itself, because we filled it up to 100%, we've got 402 kilometers worth of range. And then if I turn on the aircon, I've dropped it down to 382. It's 222 miles from here to Holyhead. So technically I could do it, but I'm not going to take the chance. And I'm also charging on the ferry on the way over. So next stop is going to be the services in Stafford. It gets very dark here in the UK very quickly compared to Dublin, and then also compared to Belmullet and County Mayo, because we're further over on the latitude. So we're only pulling 36 kilowatt on a 150. It's been a bit of an absolute faff, to be quite honest, because the units say that you can pay by credit card or debit card, pay by card, and when you tap it, it asks you to stick it in, but there's nowhere to stick it in. So then I couldn't download the BPPulse app because I'm registered as a Google Ireland rather than Google UK, and BP have locked it so that they don't want people from other countries using it. So I had to ring them, and he then let me know that I could use what's called a live map on their mobile website, and you could go onto the charger, and then so I did all of that, 25 minutes faffing about. And then, because this is at the back of the BP petrol station, they have 20 spaces for filling and then another 8 but the motorway services is down the back. I had to walk along the side of the road. No provisions for pedestrians at all, and getting back here in the dark was eventful. And then when I got to the motorway services, there's 2 GRIDSERVEs sitting there looking at me. So yeah, not ideal. And they're probably giving me 50 or 75, way better than this now. But here, I'm here now. So yeah, not ideal. Kia Niro EV beside me. They must be gone in here for coffee, or maybe I didn't see anybody else walking on the road. So I'm going to fill to, what did I say, 70%? 283 kilometers worth of range. It's 222 kilometers to Holyhead, so that gives me a bit of a buffer, about 60. I can charge in the ferry, and then I'll be on the road then from Dublin port to Dún Laoghaire, which is only about 10 or 15 kilometers, like 10 kilometers. So yeah, eventful. It's not always straightforward. The first one definitely didn't work, and then this one definitely started playing. The middle one was out of order, and then the one I'm on now at the moment was the one that I got the most success with, until I didn't get success with it on the card, tap into card. So when we get there, I'll give you an update when I get to Holyhead. Did one more pit stop as the rain was coming down at the gateway services on the A55. Stopped into the McDonald's there to use the restroom. While I was in there, I just topped up another £12.48 back onto the bridge coming into Wales there, North Wales, that we had on the Thursday. And just in the distance I spotted the blue lights coming onto the bridge, so I said I'd stick on the GoPro as it was passing by. Hopefully nothing too serious. Next stop, Holyhead. Arrived in Holyhead, and we have 26% battery left, 79 kilometers. I'm here probably, what time is it now? Probably the guts of an hour. And just chilling out, waiting to see when it opens up. The ferry that we're getting has arrived, and all the lorries and trucks have come off on the cars. Wasn't that many cars actually, just with this early setting and the fact that it's bank holiday tomorrow. And so we've had 1,003 kilometers and 17.4 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So I'll plug in once I get on, and then give you an update when we get to Dublin. Pulled up to the ticket barrier, didn't know my name because I had booked it for the night before, because I didn't remember the dates, and this was 2 a.m. in the morning, so I had to buy a new ticket. It happens to a lot of them, she said, so it was like 20 or 25 pounds. I don't think it was too expensive. She said, turn on my hazard lights. So as I pulled away, then this gentleman in customs pulled me in and said, oh, why did you have your hazard lights on? That's usually a sign to us that you have firearms on board, which I didn't. So I don't know why I was told to put on my hazard lights. Long drive then all the way over to the ferry, again told to go into a certain lane because they know I'm EV charging, and then pull into the EV charging. As you can see, I'm over in the same position I was on the way over, and there's a nice Tesla Model Y beside me. So just about to land in Dublin port, and we're up to 64% battery, 229, so we had 70 in it, so it's put about 160 into the car on the crossing. So back to Dún Laoghaire, and then I'll give my update before I hit bed. It's been 23 hours. Wasn't last off here, and then when you get into Dublin port, it's customs inspections and passport control, very smooth and off. I go cost of charging on the UK and the public network for that 1,000 kilometers was £89.91. So we've gotten back to Dún Laoghaire, 1,018 kilometers and 17.5 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers is the efficiency. Things I liked and things I didn't like about my time and the 1,000 kilometers with the MG5. I really wish it had rain sensing wipers. There was a lot of on and off, and like, it is first world problems, but it'd be lovely to have it. The adaptive cruise control was nice, but I just felt that it was a small bit jerky once it came up behind something, and then when you went into the overtaking lane for it to re-engage up to the speed that you set it at was probably a small bit slow. The rear windscreen on it, even though there's no wiper on it, and I got into some rain and some mist and some really miserable weather, I could still see out of the back of it after 1,000 kilometers. Never cleaned it. Maybe there's a coating on it, but I don't think there is.
Android Auto broke my heart, whether it's my phone, whether it's the cable, and it's an Anchor cable that I'm using, but it worked out of the 10 times I was doing journeys in the car between charging it and stopping here and stopping there. It only worked twice, both at the end of day one and just as I got off the ferry here today, but I really needed it in between, and so that was the reason it was great having the sat-nav. Driver alert and monitoring, I had to turn it off. It felt that I was not, I felt I was too fatigued. And once it started, the alarm started going off. It kept going off until you stopped the car, so I was able to go in and turn it off. Speed sign recognition, I think, is set up for the UK, and even around Ireland I'm finding that it's picking up UK speed limits rather than Irish speed limits, which is a bit of a funny one. The automatic headlights, auto beam on and off, was really good. Seats were very comfortable. There is a little kind of a design in them where it kind of digs into your back a small bit, and I thought I wasn't going to be able to drive that long with it. Kind of forgot about it, but it's a funny kind of a setup. I'll show you before I'll put in some B-roll. The digital audio broadcast system in the UK, the DAB system, was very good. Suspension was excellent, and the ride quality, no road noise as well, very good. Good efficiency, and that 17.5 is based on a lot of motorway from Holyhead all the way along the Wales Expressway around Birmingham. Toll there was £8.10 each way. £8.10. The lane keep and the departure warning, kind of, it's not really lane keep, it's more just lane departure warning is really what it is. You really have to engage with it in cruise control. You just can't like have a different to other cruise controls on it. Otherwise, hopefully you've enjoyed my look around the MG4. Hopefully you've enjoyed my drive. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm 23 hours on the go now, so I'm running on fumes. And leave a comment, let me know if you like the video, if you like these longer spins. I don't plan on doing them too often. Share the video if somebody's thinking about buying an MG4 and that longer range. And remember, if you think an EV is for you, leave it to me and I'll review. Thank you very much for watching.